Welcome to Crisp Tutorials, where we keep it short, simple, and to the point. Today we will see what are the various values of position attribute. So position attribute can have these values. First is static. If you don't give any position, by default it is static. By static it means the element is not positioned in any special way. It appears at the same place where it is in the HTML. Relative. It means we are positioning that element relative to its static position, means relative to its default position. Fixed. This means that we are positioning the element with respect to the viewport. By viewport we mean the web page. The web page in the browser or the browser window is called as viewport. So we are positioning that element with respect to the viewport. So if I am giving position equal to fixed and top equal to 0, the element will always appear at the top of the page. No matter whether you scroll the page or not, even if you scroll the page, it will stay there at the top. Then position equal to absolute means we are positioning it with respect to the first non-static parent. Non-static parent means first positioned parents. So position parent means anything, any element which has a non-static value of position attribute, it is called as position parent, because we are positioning it in a special way. Static means what? It is we are not positioning it only, it is appearing at the same place where it should appear as per the HTML. So by position parent we mean here that any parent having non-static value for position attribute. And then sticky. Now sticky is something that toggles between relative and fixed. Sticky is something like if you say position equal to sticky and top equal to 0, then it will scroll along with the page as long as it doesn't reach the top of the page. But as soon as it reaches the top of the page, it will stick there. It won't scroll above that. And similarly, if you say position equal to sticky and bottom equal to 0, then it will stay at the bottom of the page when it reaches the bottom. Means it will scroll with the page, it will come down, but as soon as it reaches the bottom of the page, it will just stick there. It won't scroll below that. So let's see all these things in action. I've just created an HTML page with 3 divs: outer, middle, and inner. So let's see how they look. Yes, so they look something like this. I'll just remove all the styling and I'll just keep the height and width and the color. Okay. So now as you can see, the divs are appearing one inside the other. Now by default their position is static. So they are appearing at the place where they should be as per the HTML. So let's see the relative in action. Making the innermost div as relative, and I'm adding, say, bottom equal to 10 pixel. So what will happen is its static position was means it was matching these two divs, okay, but now I've given a bottom margin of 10 pixels, so it has moved a bit above. If I make it minus 30 pixel, then it will move a little downwards. So it is moving relative to its default position, relative to its static position. Okay, so that is what is relative. Now suppose I make it fixed. So it is now fixed at minus 30 pixel with respect to the viewport. Now even if I scroll the page, entire page will scroll, but this guy will stay at the same place. Why? Because the viewport is this much. What is the viewport? Viewport means whatever you are able to see in the browser window at the moment. So at the moment the window is this much sized, so with respect to this much size, its position is fixed to minus 30 pixel. So if I change the viewport size, then only its position on the screen will change. See, now I am changing the viewport size, and that is why the position of this black box is changing over the screen. Otherwise, as long as the viewport stays the same, no matter how much you scroll the page, it's not going to move. So fixed means fixed with respect to the viewport. Now let's make it absolute. Absolute. So as I told you, absolute means it should be positioned relative to the first non-static parent. So let's make this parent as non-static. So position equal to anything but static. So I am making position equal to relative. Okay. So now see what happens. And let's make it 0. I mean, just for a better understanding. Yeah. So now this div is fixed at the bottom of the middle div. Okay. The reason is that middle div is the first non-static parent. Okay. And it scrolls along with the page because it's not tied up to the viewport, it is tied up to the first non-static parent. Okay. But let's say this div was static and the outermost div was relative. So in that case, what will happen? Now this is stuck at the bottom of the outermost div. Why? Because this is the non-static parent, this is the static parent, and the first non-static parent is the outer div. So now the inner div is stuck at the bottom of the first non-static parent, which is the outermost div. Okay, so that was about absolute. Now what is sticky? This is very important. Rather I would say it's an interview question. So sticky means, let's make it sticky and I'll tell you. In sticky, let's say I'm saying bottom equal to 0. Okay, so see what is happening. Sticky works with respect to its immediate parent. Okay, so the immediate parent is which one? The gray box, that means the middle div. The middle div is, it can have anything, it can be static or it can be relative, it doesn't matter. See, now it is relative, still the same effect you are seeing. So the thing is, when it reaches, it scrolls as long as it reaches the bottom of the box. But as soon as it reaches the bottom of the box, it doesn't scroll. Are you getting it? Okay, I'll increase the height of this box just to demonstrate. I'll increase it to say 400. Yeah. So see, it is coming down, 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 but it sticks over here. It cannot scroll beyond that. So this is the magic of this. Let me increase this to something really high so that we can scroll the page. Yes. So this is the so it becomes fixed at bottom. And why is it fixed at the top? Because that is where is its static position. As notes, you can see static is the default position, means we are not positioning that element in any special way. It will appear at the same place where it appears in the HTML. Relative means it is we are positioning it relative to its static position. Okay. Fixed means we are positioning it with respect to the viewport. Absolute means we are positioning it with respect to the first positioned parent. Now by position parent we mean any parent having non-static position, and by sticky we mean it toggles between relative and fixed.